In April of 2017, a delegation of 4 Canadians arrived in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, a developing country in Southeast Asia that is facing diverse issues in its struggle to modernize. The challenges faced by the urban population are often unlike the challenges encountered by their rural countrymen and women, making it difficult for authorities to attack the problems and find solutions. But one group of Cambodians that does share in the same experience, whether rural or urban, are the disabled. They are most often marginalized and excluded from society. That treatment, in part, stems from a Buddhist belief where disability is viewed as a punishment earned from misdeeds committed in a previous life, so the disabled are not deserving of assistance. Thankfully, there appears to be a slight change in the level of acceptance from society, due in part to the involvement of agencies that are bringing awareness to the lack of societal accommodations for the disabled. The women's wheelchair basketball teams in Battambang and Kampong Spil are a visible example of the change that is beginning to appear. To support these local initiatives and to be leaders in bringing positive change through sport, Wheelchair Basketball Canada presented this training camp. The 4 Canadians are world-class athletes, having represented Canada on the world stage all the way up to the Paralympic Games. They brought with them their love, knowledge, and passion for sport and competition to share with the Khmer athletes and coaches, with the goal of both sides achieving athletic and personal development through sport.
My name is Mike Frogley. I am the National Academy Director for Wheelchair Basketball Canada, and I'm here in Cambodia this week conducting a wheelchair basketball clinic for the Cambodian women's wheelchair basketball program. I've been really impressed with the Cambodian women's team and all the people here. Everybody is being incredibly welcoming and really gone out of their way to make us as comfortable as we possibly can be and really help us be the best we can be as coaches and teachers. And the Cambodian women, as I've watched them this week, I've been thoroughly impressed with how smart they are, how hard they work, and how well they work together. I've traveled all over the world, and in particular, their ability to pay attention, learn quickly, and help each other get better stands out as one of the qualities that makes them different than other countries that I've been to. I think there's tremendous opportunity here in Cambodia. I think that the International Red Cross and the Canadian Embassy and the other sponsors that have supported this event have a great opportunity to continue to expand that support, because there's a lot of people that have really demonstrated an enthusiasm and an interest to grow opportunities for all people with disabilities here in Cambodia. And I believe sport is one of the best vehicles to teach people about what they can do individually and teach other people about the abilities of all individuals. I think when people get out here and they see these women playing today, and they see how quickly they're moving up and down the court, how well they're working together, and watch them take shots, they're going to start to see these women for the potential and the ability they've got, and not the limitations that they think that exist because of their wheelchairs. And once these women get more support and get seen for being athletes and people first, they're really going to be able to grow and show all Cambodians the potential in themselves and what anybody can do when they get the right support. The true measure of a society is not how they excel at the highest level. It's actually how they treat the portions of the population that they've traditionally marginalized. That's the measure of a society, you know. And if we want to be great, and we're moving from being great as countries to being great literally as a global nation, then we've got to begin to recognize that we have to treat all people the way we ourselves want to be treated. And we've got to stop marginalizing different populations because they're different. That difference is in fact what's going to allow us to survive long term. We already know that from a simple biological level, that when we lack diversity in a normal ecosystem, the ecosystem fails. We need diversity in ourselves as a society in order for us to be successful. As that diversity narrows, as we take some directions that may be perceived as popular right now, the long term, that won't allow us to survive. We survive together or we fail individually. A great way for people in North America to look at this is to think back on their childhood and think of all the times they went and they played a sport. Think of the times they went out to a hockey rink and they played hockey or basketball or baseball or football. Think of all the memories they've got from those experiences, all the things they've learned and how it shaped them as a person. And now take that away and imagine their life without those opportunities. And that's what we have here if we don't support these women and other people with disabilities. We have a life without sport. We have a life without all of the things that sport does for us. I can't imagine that for myself. I can't imagine what I would be like if I hadn't played basketball growing up, if I hadn't learned to play wheelchair basketball. I can't picture what that life would be like. And that's why it's so important we continue to support these women and all the people in Cambodia as they use sport as that vehicle, because of all the dreams we can give them and all the things we can teach them that will reshape their lives. I talked about imagine your life without sport. I've also said sometimes when I've been talking to groups of parents and I've been talking to them about their son or their daughter, and I'm saying, hey, you got a son or a daughter and they're out there and they're playing hockey, and you go and you push them to play hockey or you push them to play baseball or basketball. They go out there and you see all the fun that they're having. You watch them grow. Now imagine if your son or daughter would never have that opportunity. What would you do to ensure they had that opportunity? What would you do to ensure they got a chance to play hockey? Would you do the same thing if your son or daughter had a disability? Would you do the same thing if one of your friends' son or daughter had a disability? The answer to both those questions is yes. That's exactly why we should help the people here, because the answer to that question is yes.
Never in my life did I imagine